Hey, what's going on, you YouTubers? Attack of the Cards coming here with a deck profile, my first on this channel for my most popular deck. My deck that I love the most is TG Stun, and mostly on the TG Stun, where the monsters they recycle themselves, and you can really toolbox off of that, and you run a lot of traps because your monsters are so small that you want to keep a field presence while kind of stunning your opponent for what they're trying to do. Alright, so getting into the deck profile, first we got 2 Beast King Barbaros. He's 1900 attack, 1200 defense if he's brought out without a tribute, but under skill drain he becomes a 3000 attack beater and he is a Beast Warrior. Next we have 3 Hazy Flame Cerberus. Now this card, there's a lot of contention between running this or Reborn Tengu. Number 1, I like this because you can run 3 of them. And number 2, it opens 8-star synchro plays, and we'll get into that in the extra deck. So 3 of those, and then the standard 3 Rush Rhino, 3 TG Warwolf, and then 2 Striker. Now the reason I want to run in 2 Strikers because this other card, 2 Carcardees. Alright, the deck does need a little bit of draw power outside of Pot of Duality, and Reckless Greed is too slow for the deck and takes up space where the other traps need to go, and Upstart Goblin, giving your opponent life points. This is a deck that, you need to be giving your opponent 9, 10, or even 11,000 life points. So Carcardees in here because of all the back row that you run. If you draw him first turn, it's very easy to stall out at least for 1 turn, and then you get that +1 off of Carcardee. Alright, so that's it for the monsters. As you see, it's 15. Okay, going to the spells. Standard, 1 Dark Hole, 3 Pot of Duality, and then 2 MSTs. Because I'm running 2 Lance, so just 2 MSTs, I will side the third one. And the final spell, 1 Book of Moon. Now, pretty much that's standard for the spells. I was trying out Seal Gloria Calcos for a while, decided to drop it in favor of Book of Moon. I just like it better, but that's the only thing in terms of the spells. Now going on to the traps. First, 1 Trap Hole. I like Trap Hole better than Compulse because this deck, if you get a Synchro off or an Exceed off against this deck, Compulse could be good, and I probably would side it, but I just like Trap Hole right now with Fire Fist running around and Mermails and all that kind of stuff. Next, 3 Horn of the Phantom Beast, because everything in this deck is Beast or Beast Warrior, except for the card cards and the TG Strikers. So, gives your monster +800, and if it destroys a monster by battle, sends it to the graveyard, you get to draw a card. 1 Bottomless Standard, 2 Mirror Force, 1 Torrential, 2 Deep Prison, 1 TG1 EM1. This is a TG version of Creature Swap, but it's better than Creature Swap because you get to choose what monster you take from your opponent, so it doesn't matter if your opponent has 2, 3, 4, 5, whatever monsters, you get to pick one and take it, and then you give them possession of one of your TGs. 3 Skill Drains. A lot of people are only running 2 and like 2 Phoenix Chains. I just like Skill Drain a lot. I understand it's a 3 MST format, but Skill Drain is just too good in this deck not to run a 3. 1 Black Horn of Heaven. This is in here. Aside from the Compulse, it helps, when they go to Synchro Summon or Exceed, and you can go ahead and stop that summon. The 2 biggest ones to stop against this deck are number 1, Black Rose, and Xian, if you're playing that random samurai matchup. And then last is 1 Song Warning. So as you can see, the deck is a solid 40 cards. I do not recommend going over that, and the Carcardees for the extra draw power. Alright, so let's get into the extra deck. Okay, first we have 1 Star Eater. Now as you can see, Star Eater, pretty big monster. Alright, it's 11 stars. So you might be asking yourself, well, how do we get out Star Eater? How is that possible? Well, all you need in your hand is a TG Striker, a TG Warwolf, and a Hazy Flame Cerberus. Alright, as long as your opponent has a monster on the field, you go TG Striker, Special Summon, that causes Warwolf to Special Summon himself, and then you normal summon Cerberus, and then you can get out Star Eater. Okay, so it's not really that hard to do. I've done it on a couple occasions. I like it a lot. Next is Leo, Guard Beast of the Great Tree, or I'm Keeper of the Sacred Tree now. Alright, I'm really glad this guy came out because I cannot count the number of times that I've had TG Striker and a Barbaros in hand and could do absolutely nothing. So Leo is broken on its own, but number one, to have a combo to get rid of this TG Striker Barbaros combo in your hand is really good. Next, Mistworm. If you're not under skill drain, you can get him out with a Rhino, a TG Striker, and a Warwolf. Really good, bouncing monsters, great effect. The two 8 stars that I'm running in the deck are Scrap Dragon and Stardust. Scrap Dragon because you do have a lot of back room, so you can freely pop cards or you can pop TGs. At the end phase, search for new TGs. So, and then Stardust, I'm running him Stardust Dragon over Spark is because Stardust gets around skills range whereas Spark doesn't. Because Stardust tributes himself as a cost and he resolves in the graveyard, so he gets around skill range. So that's why I run Stardust over Spark. Next, for the 6 stars, one Dechuria Barkion. He's easy to get out with TG Striker and Rush Rhino. Powered in the Zectron, I'm running him over Gaia simply because, yes, he does have 100 less attack, but just in case skill drain's on the field, he can't be destroyed by battle or by card effects, and I take no damage the turn that he's synchro summoned. So I found that really good. Next is HTS Psychemoth. He allows me, of course, with another skill drain, that when he battles, I can banish the monster and banish this card. It helps me get around problem monsters. And then Sirius Blue Star Wolf. Basically, when he is destroyed and sent to the graveyard, target a face-up monster and loses 24 attack. Of course, he gets to run skill drain because he resolves in the graveyard. Orient Dragon, just at random level 6. Helps get around synchros such as Stardust, stuff like that. I'd only bring him out on rare occasions. I think I played 30 or 40 matches on Death Pro, and I've never had to bring him out. Next, Vulcan the Divine. Okay, when he synchro summons, I target a face-up card I control and a face-up card my opponent controls and return to the hand. This turn, I can't activate the card that I returned with the same name. So, Vulcan, of course, he only comes out when he's synchro summoned, but he's kind of a mini compulse, and also he's a Beast Warrior. So you get to add that 800 attack on if you have Horned Phantom Beast, so he becomes a 2800 beater. Able to draw cards, that's pretty good. Armidus, I don't know how to pronounce it. Basically, when he attacks, your opponent can activate cards or effects until the end of the damage step. So he gets around those mirror forces, those deep prisons, everything like that. So he's pretty good for a standard rank 5. I like him better over Catastor. Next, TG Wonder Magician is pretty much a staple in this deck. Now, when he's synchro summoned, I can select a spell or trap, conquer the field, and destroy it. And then when she's destroyed, I have to draw a card. And during my opponent's main phase, I can synchro summon using this face-up card as a synchro material monster. Now, let's say you only have TG Striker and TG Warwolf. You can go into TG Wonder Magician, and then let's say next turn you draw into Cerberus, and you need something to get over like a big monster, or you need something that's not going to be affected by traps, and you can use Wonder Magician and Cerberus to go still doing the Star Eater. So that's really good too, since she is actually a tuner. Next, just the 2 exceeds I run in the deck. Number 1, Diamond Direwolf. Okay, rank 4. Target a beast, beast warrior, wing beast, control, and one other card on the field, destroy him. So he's a rank 4 Scrap Dragon, except he's kind of specific, but all we do is run beast and beast warriors, so Diamond Dire is really good. And then last is Acid Golem, 3000 beater. Okay, I know, hey, the only one to bring him out is I had two TG Warwolves on the field, but you would be surprised how many times I've had 2 TG Warwolves on the field and a skill drain. That makes Acid Golem really good. But pretty much that's the deck, guys. Side deck is at your own leisure, your meta or whatever. Now, decks that give this a problem, Chamber, unless you can get the Barkion out, that's kind of a problem. Exodia is a problem. But the big meta decks, Fire Fist, if you get too far behind on Fire Fist, they'll eat you alive, but like most decks will. But also Dark World. If I would recommend anything, I'd recommend 3 Shadow Imprisoning Mirrors, and the last deck probably would be Fire Kings, but you can side to bunks, and also Skill Drain gets around Grunix's effect. So even if they special summon Grunix out to blow up the field, You get skills in the Grunix. Yes, the Grunix stays on the field, and it's now 2,700 meters, but at least you're not losing your monsters. And then all you got to do is summon a Barbaros, and then you've already beat over that Grunix. So all in all, I would say the two major decks that you need to prepare for, um, if you're going to play this deck, is number one Fire Kings, and number two Dark World. And then of course Fire Fist, but everybody has to deal with Fire Fist. And Mermails are kind of a pain too, because you can't really side Soldiering because your TG effects, and you can't side Diffuser, and you can't side Macrocosmos. But there are plenty of cards out there that you can side against Mermails. I really don't have too much of a problem with Mermails. It's just if they get those, those God hands where they have a Abyss Lead or a Visteus and a Megalo in hand, and they just go off and make a Dragasac or a Viscaios or whatever, and then I have a problem. But anyways, guys, appreciate you watching this deck profile. Rate, comment, subscribe below. Again, this is Attack of the Cards, and I'll be seeing you later.